Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Austin, and I'm joined today by Alex, Jack, Steve, and David to talk about Metroid Prime 4, which we did get some very interesting feedback from some people who have had an opportunity to playtest this. I'm trying to go into this as completely blind as I can, but I know some of you guys have heard their impressions, and I'm curious. I'd love to hear what you guys think about that.
Well, first of all, I just have to say that the guy on IGN, I don't remember his name, that gave the preview, but he was ultra dramatic about everything that was going on with Miles McKenzie. Okay, like there was voice acting in Metroid Prime 3. Like it's not anything new in the Metroid series. But I understand that, the way he rambles is kind of annoying, and yes, but also, based on what we've heard, it's only for like an hour anyway. it's only a small amount of time. I don't know, maybe I'm just defending Metroid Prime 4, but...
It's kind of hard to say until we get a full review, like a full playthrough of the game, right? I feel like a lot of people are basing their opinions on what little content they had, the demo or whatever.
Yes, and that's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
So, yes, I agree.
But that could be an issue if he is indeed throughout the entire game. That's my only real concern. I mean, I did mention, I think on the last video, that it had that weird like wheelie like frame glitch thing that it wasn't even a glitch. I think it was completely intentional. But it wasn't my style. It took what was supposed to be a realistic world and then had that very weird cartoony wheelie in like one frame.
On the motorbike.
So, on the motorbike, yeah. I hope they don't necessarily do that too much in the game, but
no. Here's my take. Like Metroid Prime 4 is still my most anticipated game. When it comes to Nintendo, Metroid's my favorite IP. And I get where people are coming from, but I've actually watched like everything they've put, every like trailer and overview they've done so far, and listened to several previews. Most people who got to preview the game recently didn't like this character, but I'm pretty sure he's the tutorial guy, right? Like you have the opening of the game that we've seen in past trailers and stuff. The opening where there's like an action scene and things are happening. And then you get to the actual game where you're kind of starting to explore and play, and then I think you meet this guy. And I think it's for people who are new to the series. I think the reason he's there is to kind of be a tutorial, right? Oh, you should have scanned that. Wait, aren't you going to scan that? I don't know. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But everything else that I've seen, there's plenty of time Samus is by herself. She's not like constantly followed by a companion. And the funny thing about the previews is they'll say things like, oh yeah, I played the game and it was all very predictable. Almost they were bored because it was so similar to past Metroid Prime games.
Well, they're not going to spoil that much of the game right now, So I don't know. I feel like that kind of those opinions or that conclusion is kind of not unwarranted, but they're basing it on what little information they have.
Yeah, I get the impression everybody who's played it, it's just the opening of the game, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody's jumping, being given this and jumping in the middle, and like they're all just playing the opening hours. So they're certainly getting like the simplest part of the formula, right? It's going to be, oh, you're just learning how to explore, and here's a tutorial. That's how I see this guy. That everybody is, it does sound like he's got some dumb, like MCU style dialogue and humor, which it feels weird, like to imagine that in a Metroid game. But I don't think he's a constant companion. If you watch, and I won't say too much, but if you watch the overview trailer, there's other NPCs. It's not like the story isn't about this fixating on this guy following you around. That's not the point.
Right.
Like talk about you needing to rescue other characters and team up with them sometimes.
Yeah, I do know that a lot of people are concerned though that this will be a new regular thing for Nintendo to kind of make it a little more lighthearted. That is a concern. but I just don't really see that happening. Not with Metroid. Like you're saying, I kind of lean more towards the idea that this is just the intro. It's the tutorial phase. So I guess we'll know more in a few weeks here.
Yeah. I don't want to speak for everyone though. I know that we have some other strong opinions. You should proceed.
Yeah, strong opinions. So I'll be honest, I was the guy that was like, I'm not gonna watch anything. I'm not gonna do anything. And then I saw the Arlo video title, and he's like,
This is
it
a
wasn't flattering. Yeah, this is a nightmare. I'm like, should I watch this? I'm like, is it gonna be a big spoiler? I'm like, I should probably know. And I watched it. I'm like, I hate everything about this one, pretty much. this stupid guy, follows you around because this is where I'm coming from. Metroid Prime 1 and 2 are my favorite games of all time. 2, my favorite game of all time. So this is my favorite franchise ever in gaming. So that's why I kind of have such strong feelings for that, because I love the atmosphere of the first and the second. The third was kind of its own thing. I'll just say, it had dialogue, but most of the game you're still alone in that. It was kind of a more action punchy, but it was the climax of the trilogy, so I'll give them that. But you didn't have a guy running around you doing Marvel humor and all that. And it's just telling you the scan things, and what is that? Like I walked behind the save station. He's like, you should really check that out, Samus. And whoa, this thing's coming over the walls. I'm like, this. Not even Other M had this dialogue. I'd take Other M over this,
Wow.
I don't know. We'll see. I'm like, I had time to cool down, but in the beginning, I was like, I kind of feel a little baited by Nintendo. I was thinking a year and a half that this would be more of the first and second kind of game where you're alone. But now it's even more than the third. I wish they would have told us that a year and a half ago, so we kind of had time to digest that.
For sure.
I think that's where people are coming from. We didn't have enough time to digest the direction of the game being completely different than what we thought it would be.
Yeah.
So I'll pitch in for a second. I kind of get bothered when people make an entire opinion over a small part of the game, let's say a demo. The issue, though, is the intro is sometimes the most important part of the game.
Yeah.
So if somebody plays this game and hates the intro, they're going to be like, I don't know if I want to keep playing. I don't know if this was the best decision for Nintendo. And I'm still not 100% sure we're not going to see stuff like this later. Yeah, sure, McKenzie's gone. Let's say he's gone. Who's to say another guy shows up at the last boss making jokes again? Oh, you better do. But I watched part of it, and
Bill Cosby shows up.
I watched. Yeah. Jello pop. The pudding pop. And when I watched part of it, it's to add to Jack's point. Metroid Prime showed off these beautiful, fearful-looking creatures. And it had a moment where this big, amazing creature shows up, and he's like, "Oh, what's that?" I was like, "Oh no!" Give you an example. I play a lot of FPS games, a lot, with campaigns, and this is not unique. This kind of humor is thrown in a lot of FPS games here and there. The problem is Metroid's never had it. In Doom 2016, that campaign had humor in it, but in a very different way. There's a part where he's being told how to dislocate this battery, and Doom guy just gets frustrated and just breaks it, and the guy's really mad at him. I was like, that's the kind of... There's a better way to put humor in, and I think they missed the mark on this one. That's all I'm saying. So,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think Metro needs humor. It's never had humor. I don't know why it needs it now. So
It had very, very subtle, when the rock hits Samus' helmet after fighting the rock monster, right?
yeah, little dumb stuff like that.
that's
Could be
fine,
they're just trying to reach a new audience, I don't know for sure.
We'll see.
Really
We'll
feels
see.
like that. But considering everybody seems to hate this guy, I think they missed the mark.
Yeah.
So here's my opinion. I agree. I think it's a little weird I don't think it's the point of the game, though. Like I've said, I think this guy, I do think he'll reappear throughout the game. Like, I don't think it's just
The recurring character.
I already know
I don't-
that. They showed him in other places.
I don't think it's only the intro, but he's not a constant companion, and the story isn't fixated on him. There's like 5 other characters at least that they showed that you're going to be seeing, and you know, having to team up with to solve different puzzles or combat situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that they've already shown that these are different personalities. It's not a bunch of goofballs, you know. So I have a feeling that it's just this one guy that they've written that way, and you know, this other character might be more like Idris Elba, or you know, in
His family. You can see his family.
And Ken
Yeah.
the Apocalypse.
Yeah, it was funny with the overview trailer. Yeah, the overview trailer. There was several like voice lines. There's like, "I can't wait to see my family again," and all the comments were like, "That guy's not seeing his family."
Yeah, I saw that. Ooh, the one thing that drove me nuts is how that video of McKenzie talking, and it wasn't this part. It wasn't McKenzie talking. He's like, on the other side, I'm not in a cubicle with Phil. And then he goes, "Win?" And every time I've seen that video, the AI spelled win as WHEN instead of WIN, and it drives me nuts. Like, win? No!
Yeah. For me, it's not doom and gloom. I think the game is still, and like I said at the start of this video, it's funny to me how the previews, you know, initially people were playing the game like months ago and they were saying, "Oh, this just feels like a very iterative Metroid Prime game.
Mm-hmm.
This is just more Metroid Prime." In all these previews I saw, that's all they said about it, and like they were bored of that. It hasn't innovated enough. And then Nintendo starts showing that, oh, they are doing some different things, right? We see the motorbike, and even that was like, what? No motorbikes in our Metroid Prime games. That's not what it's about. You know, and now we see NPCs with dialogue and bad humor. Yeah, and there's just like this very strong reaction to these differences. You know, I can see Nintendo's trying to innovate. Yeah, not maybe innovate, add something different to the formula.
Yeah.
I think, though, based on the previews we've seen, it's gonna have both, and hopefully it has it balanced. There will be moments that feel very much like classic, like just more Metroid Prime, right?
Well, I mean, they've done the same with Zelda. They try to take a step in a different direction, but they also keep a lot of the old vibe, I guess. I don't know, new vibe, I guess, but new. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know, they've tried things like that with Zelda, where they take things in kind of a different direction, but still want to retain a lot of the classic Zelda feel. You know, when it comes to the characters and themes and everything. But sorry, go ahead.
I think that's what they're doing here. I think that it's clear there are moments in the game that are very much what you expect. It's going to feel exactly like the Metroid Primes you remembered. The exploration, the puzzle solving, and the cool abilities, the atmosphere.
Everything we love about Metroid. Yeah.
It's going to be there. Obviously, we now know there will be moments that feel very different with character interactions and things like that, and maybe a little bit more story driven than past games.
Going to be there, but McKenzie will also be there.
I saw something, and I don't know if it's true, that somebody was a lot of reaction videos to this, and somebody was saying that it might be possible to mute the guy, like, or I don't know, maybe there's like a setting that says, maybe there's a setting where you say, "Oh no, I don't want hints," and then he shuts up a little bit.
Shoot the guy. Yeah.
You can hope, but apparently you can turn off all dialogue. The problem is it will turn off all dialogue.
Yeah.
It's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah.
If you want to do that or not.
Well, so maybe,
and I'm sure you'll still
Yes,
see it come up on the screen.
Maybe if you just can't stand the guys talking, then
I think you guys are missing the mark here. They're setting up a McKenzie spin-off game.
Oh no, it's going to become the next Knuckles.
Yes, we'll get a
But for
TV
video
show
games.
and video games. It's going to be
Oh no, the Miles. It's going to be the Miles McKenzie show, or the Miles McKenzie game.
Miles McKenzie's amiibo. He's gonna be in Smash, dude.
Yes,
Oh,
Smash Bros.
You
character.
can beat him up. There you go.
I need a stuffed animal, McKenzie. I got plushie.
Everybody stop it. Everybody stop.
All right, we're hating on it too much, but I am still looking forward to getting the game. And as you guys know, I'm very new to Metroid, so I'm going to be playing through a lot of these the old classic Metroid games. So if anybody's interested in watching that, check out our live streams. Don't forget to hit subscribe so that you can be notified when I go live to basically do blind playthroughs of all the
Let's do
classic
an
games.
experiment.
Yeah.
Play Metroid Prime 4 first, so you have the
Damn.
opposite experience, and now you're expecting McKenzie atmosphere.
No.
Mm, That's
Terrible
not
advice.
it's a good way to keep it different than what everyone else is doing.
He would have a
At least.
different bias. Let him try it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where are my NPCs?
And then oh no, and then end it with 0 mission, and I'm like, yeah, where's the annoying
Yeah,
character?
0 NPCs. This is trash.
Where's all the guidance? Where's all the hand holding and annoying dudes?
I don't know what to do.
Well, anyway, the writing is on the wall. Hopefully it hasn't left a sour taste in a lot of the reviewers' mouths or playtesters' mouths that have been trying this out, and crossing my fingers that this does well, because I want to see Metroid succeed, and that's why I'm getting it. I'm gonna play it, and I'm playing through all the old games. And let me know what you guys think. Should I start with Metroid Prime 4, or should I go back and do all these old games like we were just talking about?
well, just as a quick tangent, it's actually not that long a wait for Metroid Prime 4 now, like 2 weeks.
No, it's only 2 weeks away, and I'm gonna
Hey,
stream it right
Boston
away.
can
So
make it. Yeah, Boston can make it.
I could. Yeah. I thank you guys so much for stopping by. Don't forget to click subscribe, hit a like button, and ring that notification bell so you can be notified when we go live again, and for all of our other nerdy content. And we'll catch you guys on another episode of Simply Nerdy. Until then, keep it
Nerdy.
Nerd.